MSNBC contributed to the Biden discourse as only MSNBC can. So here's an Obama administration insider, Cornell Belcher. He's asked a question about the left and how do you get them on board and how do you win elections and how do you persuade and all this. Look at his reaction. This is beyond parody.
What do you say to critics of Joe Biden, including potential Obama coalition Democratic voters, who have said, you know what? It's much harder to put together a reel like that for Joe Biden, who's actually had a longer career in politics, that there isn't the same enthusiasm, some say, that when you look at other measures like online searches, people aren't searching to hear what Joe Biden's saying right now. Fair or not, what do you say to that?
Shut the hell up and grow up, right? We've got a guy who is an existential threat to everything you believe in, right? Shut up, get in line, let's get rid of this guy, and then we can argue on the other side of this.
They're never going to learn. The so-called centrist Democrats are never going to learn. They're never going to learn. You know, it's amazing. Everybody kind of understands and accepts and gets it that, oh, the center, the independents, they're to be wooed. You woo them. You treat them with nothing but kindness and respect. And you try to earn their vote. So precious, yes. When it's the left, it's that. Shut up and get in line. These people create more third-party voters and non-voters than Democratic voters. Absolutely. This approach will only turn more people off. The endless, non-stop browbeating, spitting in the eye, making fun of, shaming, wagging your finger. Obviously, that's only going to turn people off. Obviously. Like, you want to know how you woo the left? You woo the left with policy. The left are the most policy-focused in the country. I mean, this is why Bernie Sanders was their guy. Was it Bernie's charisma that brought people in? Was it his good looks that brought people in? No, it was the fact he was always talking about policy. So how do you bring the left in? Medicare for all, free college, living wage, ending the wars, Green New Deal, for example. Now, you could say, well, hold on now. Biden's just not going to do those. So, and he's already on the record as saying I'm not going to do most of those. So, like, you got to be more reasonable here. You got to give a little bit. I've told you guys, I've given plenty. Like, if Biden promised to legalize marijuana, I think the overwhelming majority of people who are holding out would say, okay, I'll vote for him. I really do believe that. If all he had to do was say, I'm going to legalize marijuana, I'm going to free the nonviolent drug offenders, and I do think that most of the holdouts would say, I'll sign on to that one. But, like, that's the thing, is that you don't get any real solid policy-based guarantees from Biden. You get a promise of the status quo, a promise of business as usual. And since that is totally unappealing to people, this is how they try to force you to get in line. Literally saying, shut up and get in line. You would think that with an election like this, if it's so important, if it's so existential, that they should step their game up and really try overtime to reach out. Instead, it's all window dressing and silliness, like the freaking task forces, which is spitting in our eye. And listen, at the moment, it looks like Biden will probably luck out. Now, it's subject to change, so I don't have a crystal ball, I can't see the future, but at the moment, he's a giant favorite, so he kind of lucked out that Trump is so unappealing, and you have a perfect storm of terrible things happening that works for Biden. But, people might take away the wrong conclusion from this election. The wrong conclusion being, oh, centrism is obviously how you win, and Democrats always need to run as centrists. But if the real reason Biden ends up winning is that it's just simply an anti-Trump election and a ham sandwich could have beaten Trump, then that's not the lesson. But unfortunately, people will learn the wrong lesson, and they'll continue to browbeat the left. And this will be a common occurrence, because it's always been a common occurrence for the left. This is how the left gets treated. And you wonder why they're disillusioned, and you wonder why oftentimes they stay home, and you wonder why they hate standard politics, because this is standard politics to them. They've been disrespected and snubbed for so long, and I think it's time for us to stand up and assert ourselves. And to really let everybody know actually we're in charge because we have the ideas that are most popular.